Howdy, Ags. Welcome to Aggie Growth Hacks, the podcast sponsored by the McFerrin Center for Entrepreneurship at Texas A&M, and we are dedicated to helping entrepreneurs improve their business, connect with other Aggie entrepreneurs, and support one another. I'm your host, Greg Martin, fighting Texas Aggie class of 2001.
And I'm your co-host, Chris Hunter, fighting Texas Aggie class of 1998. Whoop!
We got a little story for Ags. As we mentioned last week, we're visiting with Marche Warfield, fighting Texas Aggie class of 1994, whose company, Satori Marketing, was the 9th fastest Aggie-owned company in this year's Aggie 100 list. If you have not listened to the last episode, do yourself a favor, listen to that, and be prepared to laugh and get some value bombs. Marche is legit.
So pass it back and listen up to Marche as she shares some really good bull.
So in all that time, right, we're talking 17 years of experience. What are the biggest, gosh, I shouldn't have done that, right, moments?
Well, certainly I should have listened to Don when he kept telling me I needed to diversify. Maybe I should have gone and looked that word up in the dictionary
as
first.
He's handing you clients.
Yes, exactly.
But take care of them.
Yeah.
It was a pretty spectacular time until it wasn't. So definitely that. Processes for sure, right? You know, when you're scrapping and it's just you, or it's you and a few, and you are just scrapping for business, you're not thinking about processes and if you're onboarding correctly and if you're training people correctly and if you're doing all the things correct. You're not thinking about it. You're just scrapping, you know, there's true grit in that, right? And another thing I will tell you that I learned is it's okay to say no. Mm-hmm. It's okay to realize that clients are not for you. It's okay to fire yourself. That was a big one. It's so absolutely okay to fire yourself because it's just not a good fit, or the juice isn't worth the squeeze, or they are just killing you just with the amount of need that they have, and it's not justifying what they're paying, right? And then in the meantime, who takes the hit? The clients take the hit that are actually not high maintenance and paying their bills and all that sort of thing. So those, I would say, in 17 years, those are the big things. Also, I would have gone into government sooner. I would have done that. But that's it. That was a journey all itself, right? I mean, that could be a 3-hour semester long class, I can tell you, because there's just navigating those murky waters is not easy. And by the way, when I lump government, I lump also, like, we've done K through 12. HISD has been a client of ours for like the last 7 or 8 years. I lump higher ed in that too, right? All that sort of public money, navigating those waters and navigating those certifications, all of that is just that could be a whole class all itself. So I would have gotten into that sooner. But again, I don't know that I would have been ready. You know, when I got certified, funny thing, my mom helped me do it because it was so daunting. And I wanted to hire a firm to help me or guide me or just do it, right? And there was no such thing. Now they're everywhere. You can find anybody that's willing to help you get certified. Well, we did it on her screened-in porch. And so, but navigating those waters of understanding the difference between a WBE and a hub and a DBE and what I qualify for and all of the things, there's just, the learning curve is a ski slope. So I would say those things for sure.
But there is significant value
if you do it right. I know a lot of people get certified and they don't do anything with it, and I don't understand. It's so much work. Why are they're not going to come to you, right? I mean, that was a learning curve too. All you've done is put yourself in a smaller pool of fish, which is fantastic, right? But you're still in the pool. You still have to chase. You still got to go drag meat into the cave to cook it up, right? And so it's one of those things to where I think a lot of people think, okay, I'm certified. Any minute now, my phone's going to ring, you know, and that's not the way it works. But yes, if you do it right, it can be pretty valuable. And you can take business cards and letterhead from the Texas Military Department. Eventually, we ended up doing their biannual report, which was amazing because that was the first time we had something on the governor's desk every 2 years. We did it for a while. That was cool. Amazing. And then you start using that to go after more, right? And even when you think that you're not big enough or it's out of your league, give it a shot, because, and what I will say about Satori is that we go out of our way to take care of them, no matter if you're private, public, government, doesn't matter. because ultimately I just want to be on somebody's speed dial, right? And I want them to know that we'll answer the phone in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Hopefully I don't call every night, but in the middle of the night, right? And we'll answer the phone, because there's a lot of peeps that don't. And also I will tell you, I've seen agencies that they'll have a minimum that they won't do an SOW for. So their minimum, I won't do one for 20 grand. Unless it's 20 grand. I won't do one unless it's 50 grand. I will, because all I want to do is get my foot in the door. I'm still that scrappy kid that was waiting tables at Chili's, you know? And so I'll get my foot in the door for a $10,000 deal and let you see what we can do and let you see how great it is. And then I'll get the 50 and the 100 and the 200, you know? So I'm still that scrappy kid.
So as a marketing agency, as someone that's creative and leading the creatives, you talk a lot about, with your clients, bringing the value of, okay, customer selection, speaking truth into your target customer, knowing who you serve and how you serve them best. Mm-hmm. How much time do you and your leadership team spend on that for yourself, for Satori?
We're terrible. We're terrible.
Because you speak it all day long to
Cobbler
them.
Has no shoes, let me tell you. Cobbler has no shoes. No, we're terrible at marketing ourselves.
I wouldn't say you're terrible. Your website's pretty true to you.
No. The website, yes, but it needs a refresh as well. But your viewers, if they go look at our social media, they're going to be like, what is going on? We're busy taking care of clients. We really are. And I admit it. And we've gotten to the point where we speak, like we have status meetings every week to go through clients and projects and all of that. And we even have Satori in there to speak to us as a client, right? But I'm still that kid scrapping across the street, and I'm still a bartender, right? And so I'm still going to take care of you.
Because you're paying me.
Serve your drinks before I'm going to go eat a taco over the trash can, right? I'm still going to take care of you. So it's a problem. It's a problem. But I'm trying to fix it, you know? But I find massive value in knowing that y'all's is taken care of, right? That our clients are taken care of. That, you know, we had a really cool thing that came from the owner of Gajeski, that polyethylene pipe company that I told you, that we put some videos in front of them, and they're really starting to go hard in video, which is so exciting. And the owner was pumped when he saw what we did. And so those kinds of things get me all charged, you know, and gets me smiling and excited for the next thing and all of that. And then one day I'm going to take care of Satori.
Until then, just go look at what I've done.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's right. Don't look over there. But yes, I will say the website and the way it was written, there was a lot of back and forth with that, because the snark, that is what we call Satori snark, right? The snark and all of that. And there was concern that our government and public clients were not going to appreciate it, right? And there was concern about whether it was going to, especially because our core values are on our careers page, right? And if that was going to run off talent because of our core values. And ultimately it was a very purposeful decision of, nope, this is exactly who we are. This is who we are. We are very authentic. We are not hierarchical. We are not in a pyramid. You have a team. Our goal is to be a partner that just happens to have a different address than you, right? That, you know, we're your communication marketing arm. We just live somewhere else. And so if that's true, then you're going to get to know us pretty fast anyway, right? You're going to get to know the fact that we are not typical. We love to call ourselves the anti-agency agency. And so you're going to find out pretty quickly that we're not the typical agency. But what you also will find out is that we are in your business, right? We're not going to just say, we're not going to give you some campaign or plan that's been cookie cuttered again and again and again and again. We're going to come to your place. We want to understand what you do. Mm-hmm. We want to understand where your pain points are. We want to understand what has worked and what hasn't, right? And how do we do that better? And all of those things, to the point where, will we ever know a ton about what you do? Nope, but we're going to know a decent amount. We're going to know enough to get in trouble. And then also we're going to continue to collaborate with you. And we're never going to say because we said so. Because I used to say the saying, and now it doesn't make much sense to people because nobody writes checks anymore. But I used to say, I never get it twisted on who signs the front of the check and who signs the back, right? You have to keep that perspective. Now I say that to interns and younger, and they're like, the what? I'm like, forget it. I know you've never written a check. I get it.
Money's just digital. It appears
Yes.
According to my son, it just appears in my
Right.
Like literally, he got paid. This is a completely side rail, but he got paid this first time. He works for Jersey Mike's. And he's like, who is this to put money in Mike? I was like, Jack, like you worked 2 weeks for that money. He's like, oh, it just showed up.
It just showed up.
Yes. So you have to keep perspective of who you're working for, right? You know, and the fact that we can help to guide and we can help to say we believe that this might be a better plan or a better strategy, or maybe everything shouldn't be blue or something like that. But then ultimately, if they go, no, everything is to be blue, okay, then blue it is, you know? So I think that that's helped and worked in a lot of ways. So
let me ask, right? We ask this everybody that is on this show. What's your big, hairy, audacious goal? Where are you going to be in 5 to 10 years?
10 Aggie 100s.
Right? Thank you for that. Yeah. He beat me to that. That was going to be the first thing out of my mouth. Kevin Bernhardt, I'm coming for you. Have y'all talked to Kevin yet? Yes. And so yes, 10 Aggie 100s, that would be amazing, but that would be terrifying. I could say monetary and I've got one, but that's not really my thing, because my thing would be, my big audacious goal would be to be voted one of the best places to work at least 3 years in a row. Because that to me is all of it, and everything else falls in line when that happens, right? When you've got a team running on all cylinders, revenue is going to come. When you've got a team running on all cylinders, then creative is going to be out of this world, right? When you've got a team running on all cylinders, so many things take care of themselves. And you know what I mean by that. Not completely, but they do. They take care of themselves because everybody's taking care of each other, right? And everybody wants to take care of the client because it's the right thing to do, not because that's how they get paid. On what y'all do, you ask about hacks, right? Between personal and professional. And this is what I was saying earlier about this is affecting us because of y'all asking that question. I think a lot of times we're pretty terrible about recognizing what our strengths are, right? And I knew that question was probably going to come up, and I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, well, I think I know this one, but I don't know this one. And so, you know, you end up with a tribe of people that you can reach out to. Yeah. Hopefully you do. You should. That's a lesson I should have learned earlier, is I should have found my tribe way sooner. But you reach out, you have a tribe that you can say, oh my God, I don't know how to answer these questions, right? And so I pushed it out to a few of my tribe. And one in particular said, you totally got this. You're going to nail it. You'll be great. Not what I was looking for. I wanted some.
Thank you for that. I feel so seen and encouraged. Yeah. What the hell's the answer?
Right. And so she said something, and then I have been chewing on it ever since. And she's absolutely right. My hack for both is relationships. That is my hack. And all too often, whether good or bad or whatever, I think your personal feeds into your business anyway. You can fight it, but when you're running a company, I don't know how anybody's successful at it. I don't have kids, and by choice, and so work is just intertwined, right? Yeah. But speaking to what I was saying about how we try to be partners and we are all in and things like that, I end up with personal relationships from my clients, right? Is that a scary thing? And do you have to manage that and always remember who's what? Yes, you absolutely do. But at the same time, I'm always, I know somebody has a cabin in New Mexico. I know that they've got 2 kids. I know, and then on the internal side, I know that Jimmy's got a dog named Fable and a wife named Lorelei. I know those things. And all of that to me takes care of so much of what needs to happen, right? I am absolutely not transactional, because those, again, in my mind, will take care of themselves. And when I talk about clients calling me in the middle of the night, that doesn't happen very often. But what they do know is I know that doesn't happen very often. So if it happens, I'm answering the phone because they need something, right? And I will stand on my head to get them what they need. When our first tech stop project was the Highway 288 expansion in managed lanes in Houston. And every once in a while, I'm getting a call at 3:00 in the morning from my client. There's a problem. And sure enough, 288's flooded. You know what I mean? Because it sprinkled. And so all of the sudden we have a problem because it's about to be commute in the morning, and we have got to get this we have this much time to get this time out, get the message out that you can't get on 288 anywhere. So things like that, I think, have been really, really important. And I think that is, the more I thought about it, that is my hack. And to the point where we are going to, in the next few weeks, we're going to brainstorm. We haven't added a core value in quite some, since we did the original ones, but we need one for that one. We need one for relationships. And that would be, because it qualifies for internal, clients, everything, right? Everything. I want our clients to know we're here. Just let us know what you need.
Well, Marche, thank you for joining us today. Congratulations on this second of many more when
Many more.
Aggie 100 wins. How can the Aggie Growth Hacks family get in touch with you? How can we support you? How can we encourage you?
Oh, wow. Thank you. There's always Satori.agency. There's no .com. There's no .net. It's just Satori.agency. You can get in touch with me as MW at Satori.agency. I actually answer the phone. I answer emails. I do all of that. Apparently, don't go to my social media because we've already talked about that and it's terrible. But our website's good. According to him, our website's good. So anytime, anything you need, ever. So.
Including 2 a.m.?
Including 2 Yes.
if you're signing the front of the checks.
Right.
Right. If not, don't
if
call
you're
me.
signing the back of my checks, then hell no. I don't know. If I'm calling you, pick it up.
Right, exactly. So yes, anything. That'd be fine. That'd be great.
Love that. Well, Marche, then thank you so much for coming on and sharing all your wisdom that you have today.
Wisdom. Y'all are adorable.
Well, how about that, Ags? Was that pretty awesome or what? I have pages of notes again from this episode and from this interview with Marche. She was a firecracker, and I absolutely loved talking with her and getting to know her. What were some of your biggest takeaways there, Greg?
I had so much fun talking with her like you did. And she really had a depth and breadth of entrepreneurship and grit and just focus. But I loved when she said that it's her job as the CEO, her job as the owner, to make it possible that the team is excited to jump out of bed and love their work. Her job is to serve the team. Her job is to make sure that the team has clear guidance on what they're doing. Her job is to make the work exciting and valuable and meaningful to them. Has nothing to do. I mean, she's obviously in marketing issues, so she understands, value proposition and serving the client and doing all that. But she sees her role as the CEO as serving and providing value to her teammates, whether W-2 or 1099s. And that is what makes her successful. And as the 2-time Aggie 100 winner and as a number 9 on this year's list, oh man, that's so awesome. And the proof is in the pudding. What about you?
So I've got a couple, right? Now, obviously, we took pages of notes. We had a really long conversation with her, and so much so that we've split it up into 2 episodes here, right? My biggest takeaway, right? Absolute number one takeaway was that she said, pay attention to who signs the front of the check and who signs the back of the check. I think that is such good advice to know, all right, if I'm thinking about how I'm going to serve my customers, my customers are the ones signing the front of the check, right? Not the back of the check. The employees are the ones signing the back of the check. I'm the one signing the back of that check, right? So I need to be paying attention to my customers. Number one, if you're an employee, obviously you have to listen to the person who signs the back of your check. So it's important enough. And obviously we all have to think about those things as we're growing our business. Now, my number 2 biggest takeaway, honestly, didn't come until the Aggie 100 celebration. She had 111% growth. Now, the way that that's calculated is this very complicated formula, right? And I've had to have like ChatGPT help me out figure out this formula, right?
Well, we all know accounting is your strong suit. So,
oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's said with super sarcasm, by the way. But 111 growth rate, that's not just, doubling your business. That's not even tripling. That's almost quadrupling your business in 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So, and it might be more than that. I don't know, my math and accounting figures and all that kind of stuff. But when I sat down to figure out it was a lot. It was in order to do that fast of a growth rate is just amazing, especially I'm an agency owner. She's an agency owner, right? I speak her world. I'm in her world. To grow that fast, that quickly on anything service related, much less a marketing agency, is just hands down the hardest thing I think in the world to do. It's bonkers, right? Exactly. So they had to have broken a lot of stuff on the way, right? So anyways, those are my two biggest takeaways there.
Well, she is such a good example of what Aggie entrepreneurship is all about. So Ags, if you are not connected with Marche, make sure that you do that. I know that she would love to hear from you. She'd love to talk entrepreneurship. She'd love to be able to work with you and your company if it makes sense. And we hope that you connect with Chris, you connect with me, you connect with Aggie Growth Hawks on whatever social media platform you're on. And if you're listening to this on a podcast app, hit subscribe and like and write us a review so we can get the Aggie Growth Hacks podcast out to more Ags and connect and support and help one another.
We also want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, the McFerrin Center for Entrepreneurship at Texas A&M University. Since 1999, the McFerrin Center for Entrepreneurship has served as the hub of entrepreneurship for Texas A&M. If you're an Aggie entrepreneur or even a wantrepreneur, head on over to their website right now to find a program that's right for you. Just go to aggiegrowthhacks.com/McFerrin right now. Well, Ags, join us next time when we connect with another great Aggie entrepreneur and learn how they hack their growth. Until then, I'm Chris Hunter.
And I'm Greg Martin. Thanks and gig 'em.
Whoop!